Explain more of making it a changeup. Well, that's basically, I think the best way to explain it to start off with is the command drill. When we're doing the command drill and you've got your corner and you're standing here waiting for the guy to say go, and he says go and you snap instantly, but the next time you're in the same position, you're waiting for him to say go, and it takes him twice as long or 3 times as long before he says go, and you're still able to snap instantly, you just got the changeup. And when you're on the brink, when you're on the edge of swinging on time, and on time is way earlier than most people think, when you're on the brink prior to pitch release, and this is another drill I do every time, I make them swing at pitch release when the ball's coming out of the machine, which means they're going to miss the ball. I make them time up, and I want them to pull the trigger the instant they hear the whoosh sound that the ball makes when it comes out of the swing. So, whoosh, they're swinging, they're timing up that spot. Whoosh. As soon as they hear the pop or the whoosh, they swing, and then the ball goes. They miss the ball. If they are able to swing at that point in time, and if they have the control to hold the load, and they should, if they're 3D loading, they should have the control to hold the load. That means they're waiting for the ball no matter how fast it comes. If they're able to swing at release, but then hit the ball, that means they waited for the ball. That means they turned this pitching machine or pitcher, his throw, into a changeup. Instead of trying to rush and catch up to it, I'm just waiting. I'm on the verge, I'm on the brink, just waiting to swing. Then I've turned everything into a changeup. On and around for the tilt question. The on and around can be oversold, and that's one of the things that hitters do when they 3D load, and they end up taking themselves out of the command drill position. So if this is my command drill readiness here, and yet I want to be on and around happens almost automatically when you pull back against the forward move, okay? So here's my command drill readiness, here's my on and around. All I did was go forward at a certain rate and resist it at an equal rate, and about right there, I start to pivot, my rear leg starts to turn me forward, okay? And I would end up with what looks like open hips as my foot come down. My hips are still loaded, they're still closed. But because my rear leg turned it open, that's a misread that everybody makes, okay? I'm still coiled in the hip socket when my rear leg turns me open. That's the difference between hip socket separation and hip shoulder separation. But generally speaking, you might have to do on and around bigger for them to understand it. I do a lot of this, get people to feel the coil and the tilt and then the leg around the ball of the femur. There's the coil, there's the tilt, and then the leg turns. Coil, tilt, leg. Coil, tilt, leg. And I feel like I'm just rolling around the ball of my femur. So I gotta get them to do it big sometimes to get them to understand what I'm talking about. And then this is the same thing, but it's not near as big, okay? It's the same movement, smaller. So when you go on around, that means that your load becomes your launch. It goes on around. So when I'm going on and around, I could launch from the fastball right there, or the slider right there, or the changeup right there. I just kept going around until I decided to pull the trigger, as compared to load back, swing forward. So this feeling here of going around is big, it's huge, it's important, and you don't do it as big as I'm showing you. It's way more subtle than that, but it's there. And that's how you learn to control for pitch speeds. Okay? Just started the program this week with 7-year-old switch hitter. Lots of work in front of us and questions to come. Very good. With the flat bat, do you want to hit the smush balls with the flat side of the bat or the skinny part of the bat? First of all, I'm holding a flat bat, or I call this a half bat. Obviously it's flat. Let me get the other one to compare. Okay, 2 bats, they each have a flat side. This one you can hit baseballs with, this one you have to hit smush balls with. Obviously on this bat, because there's little or no edge, you don't want to hit the ball with the edge, you want to hit it with the flat. However, with this bat, when you're hitting baseballs, you want to hit the edge. Now I say edge, it's not near as small as the other, but this is the rounded edge. How can I show you that? There you go. The rounded edge, you want to hit on the edge, not the flat. And when you hit on the edge, you get a really nice sound. This is a brand new bat. The kid used it for the first time yesterday. I don't know if you can see this. Can you? You can't see the smudge mark. Can you see that? Oh, see that round circle right there? He hit a ball on the flat. I don't know if you can see it. And then everything else he hit right there. There's a smudge mark right there. I don't think you can see that one, but you can see this one. Okay? The goal is to hit it on the rounded edge, not the flat, with this one, which you're using for baseballs. I love these bats. This is what I swing every time I take swings. It teaches you to get the barrel lined up properly. I don't know if I've shown you this before, but I'm going to show you Joey Votto's practice bat. Is that amazing or what? Does he hit the same spot or what? Okay? When you use these flat bats, this is a dovetail flat bat trainer they call it. When you use these and you learn to get this edge to come around every time, you're developing a nice swing path. Obviously this kid who hit the flat here isn't quite consistent at it yet, but he's a pretty good player. Vanderbilt's looking at him, sophomore in high school. All right? So I think these trainers are really good to teach you how to get that spot to the bat, to the ball, I mean. And you get a really good sound when you do. You get a huge reward when you do it. And you get a terrible feeling when you hit the flat. And so it's instant feedback. Train with that, and then in a game, you get to use your round barrel, and you get the forgiveness of your round barrel. This thing has no forgiveness to it. You either do it right, or you don't hit the ball very good. Okay? We're thankful for the forgiveness of the round barrel in a game, because the pitchers are good. All right?